Peace.
Peace to
Peace.
all.
To all? I guess so. Really? No, there's no peace to all.
I learned it from you. You used to say that.
I know I was deluded. What can I say?
Oh, well.
I've learned to be not so deluded. So here we are. So I'm going to drop this as usual. I'm going to drop the link. So anyone who wants to join the conversation to ask questions or dispute or argue about what is being said or anything from the Quran, they're more than welcome to. And then we can look into that and see if someone has the courage to come in. I mean, most people are not here yet. When they come, they probably won't be able to hear this. So, salam to Adam. And today we're going to talk about the direction that is spoken about in chapter 2 and the Muslims, the so called Muslims who are not Muslims today on the earth, that they adamantly um, push the fact that you must face in a certain direction to pray, which obviously for the so-called Muslims is the the sanctified mosque in Mecca, or they call it Kaaba, where the Quran doesn't say Kaaba. The Quran says face your face in the direction of the sanctified mosque. We will read those signs and we will see where it says that during those signs and what actually is being said in those signs in chapter 2, and figure out for ourselves whether in any way shape or form those signs refer to us praying in any certain direction or not. So I'll bring the signs up, start where we're going to start from, and then we can look as to what is actually being said and who's saying what to whom. So this is chapter 2, and we will start reading from chapter 2, sign 142. So the Spirit is the one speaking. Just to reiterate for people who forget, it is the Spirit narrating this book to us. And the Spirit is Gabriel, who is the highest messenger of God, the most powerful messenger, save none. And he gives life with the command of God literally to everything that is living with the will of God. He says, soon they will say, the fools from the mankind. So he's talking about the idiots from the mankind. What will they say? What turned them over their direction, which they were over her? So somebody was over a direction and they will have changed it. So let's analyze this statement. Who are the people when this Quran comes or came who are turned in a other direction or some direction from which they will turn to a different direction? Were they the ones that are with Muhammad who just arrived? Were they Jews and Christians? Maybe some of them. But who are the ones who are actually pointing any particular direction at the time? They're the Jews and the Christians. So the Christians have the main direction is Vatican, although they have many other sects amongst them, the biggest of whom are the Orthodox, and they have their um, I don't know where their direction is, but the Orthodox Church is main part of it in Russia these days. But as far as the general Christians, the vast majority of them, their direction is Vatican, and the Jews, their direction is their Temple Mount, which is the old house of God in Jerusalem, and they point in that direction. The Jews actually point in that direction to pray. I don't know who told them to do that. Maybe they have somewhere written that it's supposed to be in that direction that they have to face to pray. I'm not aware of that. And the Christians, they don't literally point anywhere, but their direction is the Vatican. That has been since 300 odd AD, around 300 AD onwards. Their direction has been the Vatican. So, Who are going to turn from a direction? The ones that have no direction, or the ones that have already got a direction and they're going to now turn to something else? Obviously, if they were over a direction that they turned from, they have to be pointing in a certain direction. If I come to this Quran and start reading it and I have no faith, which direction do I have? I have none, obviously. So this is referring to that time of the Christians and Jews who followed Muhammad, and they would turn their direction, as we will read later in this sequence, to another direction from whatever direction they were on. Does it mean to pray or does it mean something else? We will figure it out. So now the messenger is now commanded, I am commanded, as Muhammad was commanded, to say, to guard the rising and the setting. He guides one he wishes to a highway constant. So, fundamentally telling you, it doesn't matter. The rising and setting belongs to God. He guides who he wishes to a highway constant. So now the Spirit continues, and like that, we make you people balanced to your being witnesses over the mankind. So, who are these people? The believers, not those who hold the Quran. These are talking about those who believe that they will be witnesses over the mankind, and they being the messengers over you, witnesses. So we are the witnesses over all of the believers and all of mankind, the messengers. And not we make the direction which you are over her. So now this is telling the messenger, we are not making the direction which you are over her, because you've already been turned to that direction, except to our knowing one, he follows the messenger. From one, he turns over his heels. So now you've already figured out in the first statement, the reason for the turning was not faith. The reason of the turning was to have faith with the messenger, that you would turn to that direction, confirming that you believe with the messenger. So it has something to do with faith, but the act of turning is not to do with anything except to prove that you follow the messenger. And it doesn't say Muhammad here, by the way, for some reason. Yeah. For some reason is that every messenger will come and tell you the same thing, which will come later here, what he's commanded to do, which is already over her, the direction. And if she is to be great, except over those guides the God. So now you will not be able to turn to that direction, because it will be a great thing for you. Like today, if I told the so-called Muslim, hey, you can turn to the Temple Mount as a direction, they would not do it, right? Of course, that would be righteous because the Quran is telling you where to turn. That's not what I'm saying. But the thing is, to change your direction becomes huge because your rituals overcome your faith. And if she is great, the direction, if she is to be great, except over those guides the God, and not is the God to his lowering your faith. To understand, it's nothing to do with your faith directly. It is to prove that you follow the messenger, and to prove that you turn over your heels if you don't follow him. Surely the God with the mankind to be compassionate, merciful. So now, from the messenger being told up here that not we change your direction, and to see who follows the messenger and who turns over his heels. Yeah. And then it talks to all of us here, and not is a God to his lowering your faith. Okay. If you have true faith, this act or not confusion with this is not going to change your faith. But if you have the true faith, what is the big deal of turning in which direction? It doesn't matter. It's just to prove that you follow the messenger. Surely the God with the mankind to be compassionate, merciful. So now the Spirit speaks to the messenger. Have we seen you turning your face in the heaven? So now the messenger had no direction, right? He wasn't a Christian or a Jew. So he's looking in the heaven. What do I do? But to her surely turning your direction, you will like her. The her is pointing to the direction because the word ibla is a female word in Arabic, right up here. You will like her, but turn your face direction of the mosque the sanctified. Okay, so he's been commanded by the Spirit to turn his face in the direction of the sanctified mosque, which is Masjid al-Haram. And where would you be? but turn your faces its direction. So now he speaks to all of us who are believers. Wear what you be, but turn your faces its direction. And surely those they brought the book to their knowing, surely it the truth from their Lord, and not the God with obliviousness over what they do. So now in the Torah and the Injil, this was all told to them is going to happen, by the way. It's been taken away, it's been hidden, it's been mutilated, it's been manipulated, it's been corrupted. Doesn't matter. Just like Muhammad is announced in those two books to be the messenger, or the messenger, the illiterate, that is announced in those two books, they've hidden it. They've taken it away, like they've changed the books to go in their own desire and go away from the happiness of God and what is the truth, which is the Quran, obviously, to those who have a heart. So now he's telling all to turn their faces. Where what you be, all of you, turn your faces this direction, the mosque, the sanctified. And if you brought those, they brought the book with all signs, not will they follow your direction. This is talking to the messenger again. You have to understand what is going on here. You have to read who is being spoken to here. If I bring you all the signs, you will not follow my direction. And this direction doesn't have to be turning to the Kaaba or the Masjid al Haram, right? It is the direction I'm in, which is this book. And it's telling me to face my direction to the mosque, the sanctified. So all the people brought the book. If I brought them all the signs, not will you they follow your direction. Okay. So this is a loaded word. Obviously, my direction is not just putting my face to the mosque sanctified. It's following this book. That is my compass, right? And that is the physical compass on the earth now, from the time the Quran came down till the end. The physical compass is the Masjid al Haram, the sanctified mosque, the Kaaba, which is in the center of it, and not you with following their direction. So I'm told you're not going to follow their direction. Is it, what is the following and where is the pointing your face here? It's follow their direction. Wherever they're doing, whatever they're doing, I'm not going to follow them. And not some of them with following direction of others. So some of these people will not follow direction of others, like the Christians will not follow the Jews' direction, the Jews will not follow the Christian direction, and all the other religions will not follow the directions of the others. Obviously, look around you. I'm not lying about it, it's obvious. And if you followed their thoughts, and now he's speaking to the messenger again, directly. If you followed their thoughts from after what comes to you from the knowledge, surely you then to be from the wrongdoers. So this is a warning to the messengers. You follow this book and what is telling you, otherwise you're going to be the wrongdoers. Those, we brought them the book, they recognize it, like what they recognize their sons. And surely a group from them to their hiding the truth, what I just told you, and they know it. So who are these who are hiding the book? Not the Quran people, because they jump up and down that we point in this direction, we pray in this direction. That is our qibla, and that is the biggest thing in their lives. They have to point in that direction, and it's way more loaded than that. So far, have you seen any place where we are told to point in that direction to pray? If you find it, let me know.
Yeah.
The truth from your Lord. So don't you surely be from the doubters. This is all telling the messenger, you don't be from the doubters. Let them doubt you. Let them prosecute you. Let them call you crazy. Let them call you mad. Let them call you a rejecter. Let them come and try and kill you. You are not going to turn from this truth. And to all faces, he turns them. So God will turn the faces wherever he wants, but overtake the good. Where what you be, he will come with you, the God altogether. Surely the God over everything powerful. So now he's already telling you, faces turning is not what is talked about. Overtake the good, be righteous. And from where you go out, but turn your face direction of the mosque, the sanctified. Again to the messenger, again he's being told, that's your direction. Turn your face in that direction. And surely it to be the truth from your Lord, and not the God with obliviousness over what you do. So he's been turn your face that. Why? We'll figure it out a little bit. Has prayer being mentioned here? Turn that
No.
door to pray? Not yet. I haven't seen any. And this is the only place in the Quran that we're reading that this aspect is clarified and mentioned in complete detail. Now, God speaks to the messenger, to me, and from where you go, but turn your face direction of the mosque is sanctified. He's telling me to turn away from everybody else. This is your direction. So the Jews and the Christians primarily. And now, if you look at the so-called Muslims, look at them and look in the heaven as well. I mean, what are they doing, turning their faces to this mosque? And where would you be? So this is to the messenger, and now this is to the rest. Where would you be, but turn your faces this direction? To surely not it being to the mankind over you contention, except those who wrong from them. So now this will not be a contention over us, the believers, not these Muslims, over the messengers and the believers with him, and the messenger and the believer with him are the believers, that it will not be a contention over us by mankind, except those who wrong from them. They will be causing this, the fools. Who are the fools? Well, the Jews and the Christians don't say anything anymore, but a lot of people do say, what is this direction they're pointing? They don't really accept the direction of the mosque, they denigrate it, most of them. So they will use it as a contention. Oh, they're turned away from the faith. Just because you turn a direction, your faith changes suddenly. I mean, is that how shallow your faith is? That the direction you turn in determines what your faith is? That's nonsense. So God says, so don't you fear them and fear me. And to my completing my favor over you. And maybe you be guided. So this is God telling all of us now here. The first sentence was to the messenger. The rest is to all of the rest of the believers with the messenger. Like that, we send in you messengers from you. They read over you our signs, and it purifies you. And they teach you the book and the wisdom, and they teach you what not you were, you knowing. That's me and all messengers before me and all messengers that will come after me. We are the ones who take you out of the darkness to the light with the will of God. And this book and its signs, which purifies you, if you follow us, if you believe with us, which is not going to happen. That is not what happens. So remember me, I will remember you, and thank to me, and don't you reject. So this is God's warning to all of us now, that remember me, I will remember you. And if you don't remember him, he will forget you, by the way. The opposite is right as well. Although this is intrinsically does not mean that, but it is written in the book. When you forget your souls, God will forget you. When you forget God, he will forget you. And thank to me and don't you reject. So that's it. So now, O you, those who believe, ask with the patience and the prayer. Surely the God with the patient. And don't you say to those they killed in path of the God, they dead. So whenever someone is killed in the path of God, for example, any messenger, any believer, or anyone who is believing, or me, I'm killed by someone in the path of God, which is basically believing, right? As long as I'm believing and they kill me, I'm killed in the path of God. They are not dead, but they are alive, and but not you perceive. So they're all alive in the unseen. The ones who are killed, and by the way, the ones who are dead rejectors are also alive, burning in the fire under your feet. And who are surely testing you with a thing from the fear and the hunger, and shortage from the wealth and the soul, and the fruits, and from the patience. So we're not all going to be hunky dory all our lives. We will be tried by all these things as believers, and we must be patient, because this is a whole trial we're in, and we have to succeed by being patient and accepting what comes to us from fear, from hunger, from shortage, from poverty, from the sickness, from loss of soul, intellect, whatever, because of age, because of disease, because of whatever. Those, when comes to them a calamity, they say, surely we to God, and surely we to him returning. So this whole thing is a frivolity and nonsense we're in this world. So we know, we're to God and we're to him returning, no matter what comes to us, what calamity comes to us. People say this statement when people die, that, we're to God, inna lillahi wa inna ilahi rajiun. That is total nonsense. Not for death you say that. I mean, when you are dead, how are you going to say that? You're on the other side now. You're already returned to God, idiot. So why are you saying for other people? Is that a calamity on you that your friend or your parent or your brother dies? Is that a calamity? It's a calamity if you're not believing. If you're a believer and he's a believer and he dies, rejoice because he succeeded. But most of you are not believers. So you will say this as a calamity. The calamity is what comes to us in the earth while we are alive. And when that happens, we say this: surely we to God, and surely we to him returning. Those over them prayer from their Lord and mercy, and those they the guided. So this is, I think, the first or the second place where prayer is mentioned in the whole sequence. Is it the first? No,
I
there is
think
prayer
I
here.
think, yeah.
Yeah. So where does it say in this whole sequence that you have to turn in that direction to pray? No, it's your compass. That is our compass. What is a compass? A direction finder on the earth. If you look at the whole earth and you look at the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, the old house where the Dome of the Rock is, and Makkah, they're not really far away compared to the whole earth. So that was a compass or direction finder. Now, this is the direction finder. What's the big deal? It's to map the earth fundamentally. Yeah, that's how you map the earth to find where that direction is and where you are on the earth relative to that direction. That's what it's for, and to make you understand that you're not a bloody ball spinning around like idiots. The mind's only, by seriously, only in your mind. So now we will go to another sign. I'm going to skip to 177 and tell you where this is put to bed for you. So let's start from that, which surely the God sends down the book with the truth, and surely those who differ in the book to be in splitting fire. Okay? If you differ in this book, you're lost. You're gone. You think I'm split from you? You're split from this book, morons. I'm the one guided. I know what this book is saying. I know what it's all about. I know the unseen like you don't know it. Yet I don't know the unseen. That's another oxymoron you can figure out. Not the benevolence that you turn your face's direction of the setting and the rising. Oh, it's not, that's not benevolence? What? I thought that was the biggest benevolence I was told all my life. That if you are off by a degree, one single degree off of the direction of the mosque, they call it Kaaba, but it's the mosque, then your prayer will not be accepted. Okay. I guess that was written clearly in that whole sequence. Right? And but surely the benevolent. Oh, who are the benevolent? Please tell me. I am anxious to find out. Who are these? One who believes with the God and the day the later. Okay? Not your nonsense on the earth that you believe. Those that believe with the God and the day the later, which is the hereafter after you die. And the angels, that's number two. And the book. Yeah, you can figure out what this book is. The biggest book is the mother of the book, which has all books in it, by the side of God and the angels and the spirit and the prophets, and brings the wealth over his love with the close one and the orphan and the poor and on the path and the askers and in the captivity, and makes constant the prayer and brings the purity. So this is the one who's benevolent, and the completers with their promises when they promise, and the patient in the wars and the bad times and during the war. Those they truthful, and those they the pious. This is fundamentally the successful people. Which of you want to be in this? Oh, none of you. I don't see anyone out there. You want to believe in the prophet? You've separated the prophets. You want to believe the book? You don't know what book this is, first of all, that is pointing to. Yeah. I believe this book is the mother of the book fundamentally. But here on the earth, it is the Torah, the Injil, and the Quran. Any one of them. You have to believe with all of them. You can't separate any of these books, nor any of the messengers or prophets and the angel and the God. You cannot separate between God, his angels, his spirit, his messengers. You do any one from any one other of us, you will go to hell. That is the promise of God, and you will see it fulfilled when the time comes. So, this is where I want to end it. And now you can ask questions on this as to clarify or figure out what I've said, or you have some idea that it may be wrong what I'm saying. that it isn't what I'm saying it is. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. If you remember, when I first went for the Hajj, and I saw, as soon as I reached the Temple Mount, I felt prostrating and I was crying, and all the Arabs came to harass me and grab me from my shoulder that I'm praying in the wrong direction. Even the women came to grab me. They pulled my shoulder while I was prostrated.
Hmm.
I kept doing what I was doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a face of God is where what you turn, the face of the
Yeah,
gods. Oh,
and
yeah.
I wasn't praying. I just saw it and I felt like I just fell prostrating. I didn't plan it, but they all came from all directions to stop me. They were saying I'm sinning.
But like, I don't understand what you're saying here. Like,
When I saw the house, the old
so
in
why are
Jerusalem,
you like, why are they like, where are you prostrating and what are you doing against them that they're,
I didn't understand it. I didn't understand. They were just screaming and shouting, and I was just
I don't know what you were doing.
I just prostrated. I When I reached to the stairs, before the stairs,
Hmm.
I
So
just
you
stopped and
prostrated to the Dome of the Rock,
I
basically.
prostrated. Yeah, in front of the house, the old.
Yeah, again, that's what. Where does it say to do that? They're all idiots. They can only prostrate in one direction, yeah, in the direction of the Kaaba, and no one can walk in front of them for some reason, and especially a dog cannot cross it in front of you, yeah. But everything else beyond what you can see is okay in front of you. And you can't
Yep.
be behind a woman when you prostrate in their mosques. The women have to be at the back of the mosque or out of sight. These are the wretched nonsensical garbage mongering that they do. This idea of you prostrating to the, I mean, I would never prostrate to the Dome of the Rock. Why would I do that? I mean, there's no need to do that. There's absolutely no indication that you're supposed to prostrate to anything other than God. If you're prostrating because you feel like prostrating, that's fine. But to a particular thing you prostrate, like an object, as if prostrating to God is I don't believe that is the correct way to do it. Now, when God commands you to prostrate to something, you prostrate. Absolutely. Like he commanded all the angels to prostrate to Adam. And he made Jacob and his woman and the 11 brothers to prostrate to Joseph. That's a command of God. So when God commands you to prostrate, you prostrate. Other than that, if you're prostrating to anything for prostrating to that thing other than God, then not doing the right thing, obviously.
Absolutely. I saw that you had already clarified it to me a couple of years ago, and inshallah, I will never do it again.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just overcome and you want to prostrate, do it wherever.
That's
But like,
exactly what happened.
yeah, anyways.
And also in chapter 10, it says that to Moses and his brother, they were told to make their homes their
Absolutely. When they
direction.
gave up, yeah, at that time, and they were against all their people. And at that time, there was what was the direction at that time? Do you know? I don't even know.
Nope.
Before
No.
Moses, I don't know what the direction was, or was there a direction, but they were told to make their homes their directions and make constant the prayer. So they weren't prostrating to their homes, they were just making their homes their direction by staying in the homes, basically,
Yeah.
and making constant the prayer. It's not about your physical prostration that you guys glorify. Yeah, it's nothing to do with your physical prostration. The faith is in your chest. The prostration is in your chest, not your physical acts. That's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Yeah, unless you have faith, and you certainly didn't have faith back then, Imran. By the way, that
Absolutely. I was deluded.
so then what you're saying is just beyond the realm of reality, right? What the reality was at that time. So anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like, oh, God's going to put you in hell because you fell prostrating there and you were meaning to prostrate to the dome or the Kaaba like they do, as if Kaaba is God. Yeah. I mean, that's how they treat it if you go over there to Makkah. They treat the Kaaba as God.
Yep.
I mean, it's like idol worshipping to the extreme level. These people are deluded, completely lost in their minds. They have no faith. They have no clarity, they have no direction. Huh? The direction is
Yeah.
in your soul. And the physical acts mean nothing. They're just an extension of your faith. And if your faith is true in this book, then your direction will be true. That's it. And that
Yeah.
faith is what takes you to your actual deeds.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, wi- that it? Nobody else has any issues with this? So basically, there's no there is no prayer in any direction. Okay, this is all nonsense that we've been fed. That you have to point in certain direction for faith. It's total nonsense, and it's written so adamantly there to the messenger and the believers with him to make their directions point wherever they go out, point their faces in direction. So, are we supposed to walk out of our house pointing in the face of the mosque, the sanctified? Is that what it means, you think?
No.
It's the
It means,
compass, like you said.
yeah, it is where is it relative to your position? That is a
Yes.
positioning system that will determine where you are on the earth. You will understand the earth much easier if you do that. And before the this Quran came, the Jerusalem was that direction. It's just a physical direction to figure out where you are, your compass. That's it. Anyways, I think we're done with that. I think.
Yeah.
So there is a few other things that I want to talk about before we go into any other questions. And it's the actions of turning to God, yeah, and how that works. So let me bring this up. So this is chapter 4. So this is about people who do wrong and how their turning can and will or will not be accepted. And people think that they can turn at any time. There's a lot of people who say that you can turn at any time in your life, even at your deathbed, like the Christians specifically, right? And you God will accept you, you know, and the littlest thing you will do, God will forgive you for that. It's a bunch of nonsense. So here, if you've done wrong, so surely what the turning over the God to those they do the evils with ignorance, then they turn from near, but those he turns the God over them. And is the God knowledgeable, wise? So, if you are ignorant for whatever reason, I mean, you may know things, but you're still ignoring them, right? That's a part of being ignorant, knowing what's wrong, and you still ignore it and keep doing it. So, what is the turning for those who are doing the evils in ignorance? That they turn from near. So, near means what? We'll find out in the next sign. When they turn from near and turn away from their evils that they were doing in ignorance, God will turn over them, and God knowledgeable, wise. And the next sign it says, and not the turning to those they do the evils. So this is talking about actions more than faith here, by the way, just to be clear. Till when presents one of them the death, he says, surely I turn now. So now when you die, you will see your situation, right? As a believer as well, certain evils will not be forgiven, by the way. And if you haven't turned from them, even if you believe, your turning will not be accepted then when you want to turn from that evil other than your faith. I mean, of course, when you don't have faith and you reject, that's also doing evil. But in this sign here, it's talking about your actions, your deeds. So if there are only a few deeds that you will go to hell for, and you can figure, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. And then at that death time, is surely I turn now will not be accepted. They will not be accepted. And not those that die and they reject. So they're talking about the faith, right? So one who's doing the evils which are unforgivable, and when that death comes to that person, and at that time, oh, I turn now. Sorry, now you're not going to be accepted. And not those they die and they rejectors. So those who die and they're rejectors, their turning will not be accepted either. Those we prepare to them punishment grievous. This is the Spirit telling us this, by the way. So that's one place where that is mentioned. Yeah. So let's go to another sign which points to this aspect in chapter 6. And when come to you those they believe with our signs. So this is talking to the messenger. But say, so the Spirit commands me to say to those who come to me believing, peace over you. Wrote your Lord over himself the mercy. Surely he, one who does evil, does from you evil with ignorance, that turns from after it and writes, but surely he forgives merciful. So that is the messenger's command to those who believe and come to him believing. He says, peace over you. And God has written over himself the mercy. And that's why he's merciful, by the way. He doesn't need to be. He's written over himself the mercy. That's why he's merciful. He's commanded himself to be merciful. He doesn't need to be, but he is to us. From all our wrongdoing, he passes over it. If he weren't merciful or he hadn't written over himself the mercy, we would be vanquished a long time. I mean, we wouldn't start. The creation wouldn't even start, basically. It would end at the beginning. So if you turn and write after you do evil with ignorance, he forgives and merciful. And like that, we explain the signs. And we are surely clarifying path of the sinners. The sinners are going to be believing or pretend to believe, and they'll keep doing the damn evils and ignoring what is written in the book and what the messenger is telling them. They are the ones who are going to suffer in the end. So let's go to another sign related to this. So how this in chapter 16, and over those Jews we disallowed what we explained over you from before, and not we wronged them, and but they were their souls they wronging. So then surely your Lord to those who do evils with ignorance, then they turn from after that, and they write, surely your Lord from after them to be forgiving, merciful. So understand that he will forgive, but it does not mean at the end. Most people think even towards the end when you're dying. No, 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 no. There is a line in your lives that you will cross, after which God will not accept your turning. After some of the signs come of God, or when his punishment comes, which we will talk about a little bit in a little bit, you will not be allowed to turn and do righteousness and get freedom from your punishment. The punishment will come to you then. So now look at those places where this is written. So all those who think that they're going to be forgiven and no harm, no foul, yeah, sure. Let's see. So now this is the rebuttal to people who say that means that whenever you turn, God will accept you. Are they looking except that come to them the angels? Or he comes, your Lord? Or he brings some signs, your Lord? Are they looking for that to turn? A day he brings some signs, your Lord, not will it benefit a soul her faith, not she believing from before, or she earned in her faith good. So what does the messenger say to these morons? He's commanded to say, be waiting. Surely we to be waiting. I've said that to these people, and the waiting is getting less and less as the destruction and catastrophe increases over the earth. And one day, this stuff is going to happen. The punishment of God, the angels will descend, or the punishment of God will descend without the angels descending. It will come. You want the angels and God to arrive or send down some of his signs? No, at that time, your faith will not benefit you. You can scream and shout and call for help. Game over. Game over at that time. So let's look at this last few signs of chapter 40. So he's talking about those who were brought the clarities and what happens to them when the messengers come. So let's start from there. Will but not they travel in the earth, but they look how was end of those from before them. Will but not you travel, and look what was the end of those from before you. Do you see them living? Do you see them thriving? Do you see them being sustained? Are their empires standing, or do you see their ruins all over the place?
Ruins.
More from them, and stronger force and remnants in the earth. So you're being told that you don't have their force, by the way, which you marvel today. How did they make that? Oh, how did they make this? Because you don't have the ability to make it, fools, and they did. They were far stronger than you, and they were more numbers than you on the earth. And doesn't matter today or when Muhammad came or when Jesus will return or the end of this earth. You will never reach their strength nor their numbers. But not self-sufficient over them, what they were, they earning. Yeah, evils. That's what they were earning. But when came to them their messengers with the clarities. When we come to you, what do? You rejoice. They rejoiced with what with them from the knowledge. Don't you do that and tell me I'm full of nonsense and garbage? Yes, you do. And surrounded with them what they were with it. They're mocking, keep mocking me. And what I tell you, and see what it happens to you with it after a while. But when they saw our war, that's what's going to happen. They said, we believe with the God, one of him, and we reject with what we are with him partnering. Oh, you will say that day. So no, the faith will come to you when the punishment arrives. Don't worry. Yeah, when the war of God arrives. But not it will. It benefit them, their faith, when they see our war. Method of the God which has passed in his servants. And we'll lose right there the rejected. So this happens every time. Every time God's messenger comes, the same thing happens. There is no special messenger that brings some special different way that the end is going to come. The end will be punishment of God and the destruction of mankind. That's what's going to happen. There is no other exit from here. You can scream and shout, you can call me whatever name you want to call me, but that's the reality, and that's how it's going to happen. I'm not going to bring it. I don't have that authority. God is going to bring it. I'm here to warn you that God's going to bring it somehow or the other from your hands upon yourself if He wants.
And then they will have regret, right? Oh, had we taken with the messenger a path, had we not taken so and so a friend? And then it says the Satan to the man is a forsaker, right? They're all
Yep.
following and disputing signs of God without knowledge, without guidance, without a book lighting. Just, yeah.
Just following their thoughts,
Yeah.
following the delusion they have invented in front of them, and loving their delusion and making others love the same delusion. As you look around the earth, that's what's happening today. It is nothing new. They think they've progressed. They think they have knowledge. They think they've uncovered the secrets of creation and the secrets of this universe that doesn't exist. And they paint a universe that has no ability to exist, nor is it existing, and make you believe there are innumerable amount of these universes in parallel running. Yeah, sure they are. Yeah, just like your lives are going to just keep growing and you're going to live forever here as you uncover the fountain of youth and drink the elixir which will make you live forever. That's what they're searching for and making people believe this nonsense. Yeah, we're going to make sure that you live forever. While at the same time, we want to reduce the number of people on the earth. Yeah, there's too many people. The earth is not sufficient to sustain all of us. We need sustainable growth. We need the ability to be sustainable. And we think these morons that are called the globalists, we think 500 million people is all we need. But yeah, we're going to make you live forever at the same time. Take this COVID vaccine. This will make you live forever. And this aspirin and this anti-cancer drug that we've invented. And yeah, and we just want to ID you so that you get all your benefits. Yeah. So put your face in front of this camera so we can take that and your fingerprints and your DNA and all that stuff. So you get all your benefits, right? That's what they're doing.
Okay, and since you did bring all of this up, I would like to talk about the sign in chapter 30, and it's sign 30, and it talks about don't be changing to the creation of the mankind, what uh, originated. I don't remember the sign correctly,
I'll
but
bring it up.
and you know, all this gene therapy and designer babies and all that isn't exactly what they're doing, what God has said not to do, not to tinker with the creation.
Absolutely. So let's start from here. 29, yeah. But follow those who wrong their thoughts without knowledge. And they call that knowledge, by the way. But who? He guides one, makes astray the God. And no one, by the way, the answer. And not to them from helpers. So now he's talking to the messenger here. This is the Spirit telling the messenger, make constant your face to the way true. Yeah. And here the word is lidini hanifa. So if you call religion, so you should translate the religion true. Yeah, what is the religion? There's no religion, idiots. It's your way, okay? But make constant your way to your face to the way true. Origination of the God which originated the mankind over her. So points to a her thing, which is fitra. Fitra is a female word. So whatever that origination is, do not change that for mankind, not anything else. Mankind, okay? Origination of the God which originated the mankind over her. Don't you change to creation of the God. Now here we will say, oh, nothing. No, no, we're talking about mankind. This refers to mankind's creation. You can go and edit the genes of the fruit to make better fruit, and what happens in the end? It becomes disgusting. Yeah, it becomes a disaster, which they're now looking at. They make seedless fruit. So then, who's going to now procreate the fruits after that? You. That's what they want, control over that. That's why they make all these fruits without seeds. So they control the seed. They created the seed that creates only seedless fruit, and then they have their own seeds there, which they don't let you use. Yeah, which is a secondary aspect. But this is not talking about that. You can do that. That's not forbidden. What's talking about is do not change the origination of the man, what mankind, what mankind was created over her, whatever that was. Don't you change to creation of the God. That the way, the constant. And but surely most of the mankind, not they know. So here the word is Deenul Qayyim. So now that is the religion, the constant? No. So if you call that the way is Islam, then okay, the ways don't change the creation of God. So which is what is your religion? Nonsense, right? It is the way is submission. The way is not to change God's creation, which He created mankind over. That's what's being spoken about. And what did He create us over? The chain. It's written in the book. We are created from a chain. It's written in the book, correct?
Yes.
So
Yep.
we can search for that. See if we can find that quickly. So first we were created from, this is the past life, the one that we lived and died, and then we created again. Already we created the man from chain, from sulfur. So DNA is this chain that is referring to, by the way. Then we make his lineage from a chain from fluid lowly. So first we were created from the chain from sulfur. The DNA was sulfur based. Now the DNA is based on fluid lowly, which is a sperm and the egg. If you don't understand this obvious fact, and the Quran ain't teaching you this, everybody knew this from the beginning, okay? From the times of Adam and Noah and everybody. It's not like we're figuring it out now and now we're making changes, yeah? So that is what the chain is, the DNA. Do not tinker with the DNA. That's what is being told to us in this sign in chapter 30, sign 30, 3:3, yeah, quoted for 3:3, hoax. So they, whatever they do to change mankind's creation will bring them destruction in the end. It will not help them. They are trying to engineer man to be better. Better than what? Better than we are. So what? Having better sight because you put binoculars or some engineering on our sights is going to make us better somehow. Integrating with the computer will make us think faster. That'll make us better. Yeah, faster is better, I think. Yeah, that's what they say. Nonsense. I mean, these people are deluded to a level they cannot understand, and what they're bringing upon them, they don't even know. And they openly admit that we don't know what we're doing with these AIs, and we don't know what's going to happen when it gets out of control. Yeah, I know what's going to happen. Don't you worry about it. You will find out when it happens. I mean, you will open the gates of proverbial hell upon yourselves by your deeds that are related to this. Absolutely. It will bring absolute destruction upon you. Nothing short of that. And they're headed headlong into it, thinking this is progress, thinking that we need, the bubble. They keep blowing bubbles after bubbles. If you look in your life, they've been feeding you nonsense after nonsense. And then when that thing passes its best buy date, another new nonsense bubble is invented for you to, revel in. This, Netflix, Apple, tablets, laptops, AI, fantastic. Robots, they're going to do our work, and then they show you how the robot is like cannot function properly. And they show them shooting each other, but not shooting the man. Don't worry. The robot cannot shoot the man because the coding is put in it specifically that he cannot harm a human being. Then they show a video of a robot kicking someone in the gonads. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Oh, that was a mistake. Sorry, that was a mistake. He did not see it, and then he's like apologetic. They show the robot being apologetic that he hit the guy in his gonads. Yeah, right. That's how it works. I mean, these people are deluded. There's no hope for them. There is no exit from the path mankind is right now. There is no exit except their destruction. It will come. It will come suddenly. By the way, they will not perceive it. Will I perceive it? I don't know. I mean, God has told his messengers at times before the punishment comes, a little while. Noah was probably the longest while before the flood came that he was informed because he had to build the arks. Yeah. And there was this funny article in the news about a person in Ghana who pretends to be a prophet who was prophesizing that mankind is going to be put under the flood again for 3 years starting this last Christmas. Yeah. And when it didn't happen, he said, oh, because I stopped the punishment of God by praying to him and fasting, and he has given us more time to build more of the arks that he was building, boats. He was building boats, and he was asking donations from people to help him build the ark. I guess that's what Noah did. He sent out a GoFundMe ad at the time, right? So, people would give him money to build the ark. Yeah, it wasn't like that. He built it with God's inspiration and what God gave him. No, 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 no. He had to go ahead and ask for money. And apparently, this guy who so-called self-proclaimed prophet, as if a prophet is not self-proclaimed when he comes. Yeah, he waits for the people to determine whether he's a prophet. He doesn't come and tell the people, I am the prophet of God. No, 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 no. He just stands around and waits for people to analyze. Oh, yeah, you're the prophet. Oh, yeah, I'm the prophet of God. Oh, thanks for telling me. I didn't know that. Same with the messenger. People are deluded. They're destroying the whole concept of how God works with their satanic way of saying he's a self-styled messenger. He's a self-proclaimed messenger. He's a self-proclaimed prophet. And then they show these morons who are actually idiots and they put them in the news, right? If they bring me in the media and talk to any of these goddamn leaders, they won't spend 5 seconds with me before they're destroyed with their nonsense.
No, they will run away from you.
And so never will I come because what I'm saying is the absolute truth. And they will see it soon enough. And when they see it, it will be like Pharaoh drowning. I believe in the one, the sons of Israel. I submit. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Submit now. See what happens. Soon enough, you'll find out. God is wretched to a level you don't understand when you go against him and his messengers. You don't understand that stuff. And it's coming to bite you all. Sooner or later, it will come. Anyway, I think that's it. Yeah. Any final comments?
No, we did have some questions, but I think we can wait for next
Yeah,
day.
we bring a question or two. I mean, I don't know. We still have 5 minutes. We can have one question or two, whatever it is.
Okay, I'll have to look at my bookmarks. Yeah, I do. If you could bring that sign up in chapter 17, sign number 89. And God talks about like he's brought us from all examples, but refused most of the mankind to believe.
I don't hear anything.
I
Maybe
my my headphones were not working this time.
Is it my bad?
We can't hear you.
Yeah, I thought it was mine, but I see.
I thought my
I
headphones were not working, but no, we can't hear you.
I'm on the phone, so I cannot figure out his picture. I hear the mouse click.
That's my problem, my mouse.
Oh, so maybe he's gonna come back again.
Yeah. I thought my headphones were not working this time every week.
That's what I thought too.
No, we
No,
can't.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
now we
now.
can. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. It went somehow, it was muted. So where did I end up losing you guys?
we didn't hear anything.
Oh, you didn't.
From
Well, then I guess we'll keep it for next time then.
yeah, yeah.
Or we can talk. It's like we got five. Yeah, this is 2 minutes worth. That was a technical error. Somehow my sound got muted. I don't know how I did that. How I managed that stuff. Yeah, but it was on the restream. The restream muted me for some reason. I may have clicked something erroneously. In any case, so let's share this screen again. So okay, so here in chapter 17, I start at sign number 88, where the messenger is commanded by the Spirit to say,
We can. Yeah, now we can.
if got together the men and the demons over that they bring with example of this, the Quran, not they coming with its example. And if are some of them to others backers. So now all these fools that are men and demons, they are the real fools on the under the heavens and the earth, the men and the demons. And they think they're gods, yeah. Or they're the closest of gods, or God can't do without them. And
Yep.
they're sadly mistaken, yeah. So if all of them go together, they will not bring an example of this Quran. And if some of them back others, so bring it. I mean, it's been long enough. Can you bring it? You will never be able to. You will invent nonsense. And already we turn to the mankind in this, the Quran, from all examples, but refuse most of the mankind except rejecting. So where they see what's written in this Quran, it doesn't align with their desires, their thoughts, their beliefs, what they want to be true, and what they want to do, so they reject it. It's as simple as that. And that's where the end of that person or that entity will be, in the rejection of God, because they reject the truth, and the truth will destroy them in the end. That's how it works. There's no other way to explain it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're done, yeah, and hopefully, inshallah, next Saturday again at 1 p.m. and we will see whoever's here next week. Till then, peace.
Peace.